Do I like tacos? Yes, I like tacos. Hard tacos or soft tacos? I prefer hard tacos. What's going on, guys? Welcome to the weekly recap. I've got a couple topics I wanted to cover and, of course, take some questions that you guys emailed into me. And we'll obviously take some live questions. But yeah, Black Friday just happened. I don't know what you guys picked up. I'm not really a big Black Friday shopper, but I know there were a couple of big deals. I had done a review on the Toshiba 43-inch Amazon Fire TV. That TV seems to have been garnished a lot of views lately, and I shot that thing about 4 months ago, and I've been getting like inundated with a lot of questions about that TV. Just a little, in retrospect, when I did that review, there was very little interest in that TV at all. And then Amazon ran like that Cyber Monday sale where the TV was like $100 off, whatever, yada yada. I got flooded with a lot of questions, a lot of views after I had shot that review. And then now Black Friday comes around, 3 months later, 4 months later. That review is just like blowing up right now. All these questions about the Toshiba Fire TV. I think it was a 43-inch for $130. I don't want to be, it's not like the crappiest TV, but it's a Black Friday type of TV. It's a decent TV for $130, 43 inches. I had the 50-inch, so I was given a 50-inch one to review, and I sold it off. It's a nice secondary television. It wouldn't be a TV that you would use to maybe impress your friends, but if you're throwing it into like your bedroom, I think like Insignia has a Fire TV as well. I think just maybe Hisense has one. But for all those people that are like jailbreaking their TVs, all this other stuff, putting Kodi on there, obviously you can do that. I know that's like a big draw, those TVs. But no, there is no YouTube on any of the Fire Edition TV sets. No YouTube. Everybody should know there's like this beef between Amazon and Google. So no, there's no YouTube on there. No inbuilt YouTube, at least. But that was one of the big sellers that I know for this Friday, this last Black Friday. Also, another thing that I've got questions on recently is the Sharp 55-inch. By the way, we're doing Dunkin' Donuts. Dunkin' Donuts Harpoon. They're sponsoring today's video. I'm just kidding, they're not. I just picked this up because I randomly walked to the store and I saw Dunkin' Donuts on a beer bottle, so I figured I had to pick it up. But yeah, man, Sharp, another Best Buy deal. The Sharp 55-inch was like $250. I think it's like a $430 TV. I think it was $430, maybe it's $330. But it was $250 this past weekend. That's another set. If you notice like the trend on Black Friday, it's never like the really high-end, high-quality TV sets you're going to get on massive discounts. It's always like the entry-level TV sets or entry-level AV gear or electronics. Always entry-level stuff, never super high quality. Although I do believe the LG C8, I think it was an additional $100 off. I think it was like $2,600 or something like that. But yeah, the Sharp was another big seller this weekend. 55-inch, $250. Not the best TV, but bedroom TV. Throw it in your kitchen or something like that. That was pretty good. That was a good deal as well. Other than that, as far as like 4K Blu-rays, I watched Crazy Rich Asians last night. Any Crazy Rich Asian fans out there? I was gonna do the 4K, look at a proper review for Crazy Rich Asians, but I opted not to because there was only like a 5.1 audio track on it. So I figured I wasn't gonna do it. Even though I'm Asian, I had to pass on it. But the movie is, it's in 5.1. I don't know if it's got a 2K or a 4K DI. From the looks of IMDb, possibly 4K DI, but from watching it, it would seem to have a 2K DI. I'm not 100% certain on that. I didn't do any homework on it. Just kind of relaying what I had seen visually. It's like 2 hours long. I think we shot digitally too, like the Red Epic Dragons. But yeah, I seen it last night actually, at like 2 in the morning. I watched it. and it's a nice, colorful movie. Very bright in some parts, not so bright in other parts. You guys probably don't care about this movie, but I did watch it. It's kind of, I thought it was a little odd. Maybe not odd, but they're like Asian guys. They're in China. It's a love story, of course. But like all the Asian people were like British. I'm like, come on, man. You guys are all British? Really? But yeah, all the Asian people were like British, except for maybe like the main female character. She's from New York. But all the other guys were British. I was like, dude, come on, man. Why you gotta be British for? Don't we get enough British white folks in movies? Not that I was expecting like the Chinese accent or nothing like that, like broken English, but I was like, damn, come on. But if you guys are interested in picking up Crazy Rich Asians, it's a decent looking movie. Nothing spectacular. It was kind of soft, actually. I thought if you were gonna rate Crazy Rich Asians, maybe like a 7. Maybe if you're an Asian person and you really like this kind of stuff, like romantic Asian movies, might be worth a pickup. I'm not a romantic Asian guy, but I wouldn't watch it more than once. But if you're a romantic Asian woman or a guy, it might be worth a watch. It's very predictable, just like every other romantic movie I've ever seen. So maybe pick it up. But it didn't look that different from the Blu-ray, that's for sure. Nothing really 4K, screams 4K about that movie. Next up we got Mission Impossible 6. A lot of views on this one I got. A lot of interest from Mission Impossible 6. I know there's been some questions about, does Ghost Protocol look better than Mission Impossible 6 Fallout? For me, I had thought Mission Impossible Fallout, I prefer the look of Fallout a little bit more. Although I could see where you could go Protocol would be better looking, because it's a little bit more contrasty looking. Colors a little bit more, be a little bit more vibrant. Fallout, maybe a little bit more muted looking, but I thought it had a more cinematic feel to it. I mean, Protocol was kind of richer in color, but also a little maybe kind of soft as well. But I can definitely see the comparisons there. Ghost Protocol was probably the best looking out of the bunch before Fallout. Although the IMAX scenes in Fallout, man, awesome looking. I watched it on the 75-inch and on my projector screen, and there is a big difference between the IMAX shot scenes and the regular 35mm and 6K shot portions of the movie. Noticeably different. I mean, I think there's only like maybe like 2 big scenes, like the Halo jump scene. I don't think I'm spoiling anything. I know it comes out tomorrow, but I'm sure maybe a lot of you guys have seen it in the theater. But the Halo jump scene looked fantastic. I think there's some stuff in the back in the third act of the movie with the helicopter that kind of switches back and forth between IMAX and just regular shot at 35mm and 6K. You know, I mean, there's a difference between the two. I know there's been some stuff about like the color grading between like the I don't know if you guys can hear the cars in the background. I know a lot of people ask me, why are so many cuts in your videos, Shane? Well, because if you guys can hear these cars zipping back and forth, that's why I have to wait to get like a quiet, silent moment. I have to chop it out and then restart my sentence, whatever I'm saying. That's why I get a lot of cuts in my videos. But anyways, but yeah, there's a difference between the IMAX and the regular 235 or 239 shot scenes. I didn't think it was like startling or anything. I think on some of the forums and some people have mentioned that hey, it's like this big like a big deal with the color grade, yada yada yada. I mean, if you're really sitting there like nitpicking about a slight shift in color, man, some of these guys get a little crazy on these websites and forums. Then I've read some stuff like the audio was like fantastic in Fallout, which I've watched Fallout like 5 times at different audio levels. I don't know where people are getting this, that Fallout is like a reference quality soundtrack, but I wasn't hearing too much coming from the height speakers. Except for, you know, the big action moments like towards the end and a couple of big action scenes, but otherwise I wouldn't say that Fallout is like a demo-worthy movie. At least I didn't think so. Although everything that I've read would kind of say otherwise. And video quality-wise, I think there's been some mixed reactions to it as well. Some were very positive, and I think there's one really negative review about it. So it's like one of those things like I'll shoot my review, then sometimes I'll go back and read other reviews after I've shot mine. I'm like, man, you guys have really seen some different things than I'm seeing. It was a great movie, but I don't think it was exactly reference quality for video quality. And audio quality, I don't think it was like reference quality for audio either. Although the music soundtrack in Fallout, very good, especially the Mission Impossible theme. Total standout. If you're going to pick it up just for audio, just the way the music soundtrack kind of builds up to like a big crescendo when things are just happening, it just... When I was watching Fallout, I just thought this was the tensest. There's a lot of tense moments in Fallout, more so than the other 5 previous ones. Just more kind of like edge on your seat moments, which really like kept me interested through the entire duration. Not that the other ones were boring, but this one was just, I found it more enjoyable. More rewatchability for part 6 than I thought the other ones were. But yeah, man, once you guys pick it up tomorrow, let me know in the comments what you thought about audio. I checked all my levels, I checked my bass levels, and yada yada. Yeah, I just didn't think it was like demo worthy, so I'm not sure what these other reviewers are talking about. But I didn't get any kind of like, hey man, this is amazing sound. It did sound really good. Just I wouldn't say it was a reference quality. Not at all. At least not from me. All right, big news. Other than that, next big news in audio. SVS did drop. They did announce their new 3000 series subwoofers, which I believe is going to be the successor to the 2000 series subwoofers. This year, they're doing 13-inch drivers instead of, what was it, 12 for the 2000 series? So 13-inch drivers, 800 watts, capable down to 16 hertz, which is pretty awesome sounding for you know, an affordable subwoofer. I'm not sure if we're gonna get that in for review or not, but I'm looking into it. I mean, it's like one of those things. It's like you have I got the PB16, then I've had the SV4000, and I also own the PC4000. I'm probably gonna pick up another PC4000. So I'll have the 2 PC4000s and and a PB16. So it's like one of those things. Like, you know, you're gonna. I'm not sure if I'm gonna pick up the 3000 or not, but we'll see how it is. I already know it's not going to outperform the 4000 or the 16. So it's like, I always feel like if I'm going to get a subwoofer that's smaller than the other ones I already own in the main room, it's going to have to be like relegated to like the living room or something like that. Or I'm going to need more than 2. But I know that's going to be a really good kind of an affordable option if you don't want to drop the cash for the bigger ones. So I think that was kind of like the big news for the week. At least as far as like audio. So we'll see. Kind of excited about that. I got a couple things I'm working on as well. I'm working with some other audio companies, like overseas. I don't want to say who yet, but got some things coming in. It's gonna be good. But a couple questions. Let's take a couple questions I had emailed on Twitter. A couple questions on Twitter that we had. First question is from Ruben Hernandez. His question is, what is the best home theater products you can buy with a budget of $1,000? Well, Ruben, there's a bunch of home theater products you can buy for $1,000. You haven't really specified what kind of products you're looking for, but there's a medley of sound bars you can pick up. Some people hate Bose products, but they do make a pretty decent sounding sound bar with their new SoundTouch 800 that has Alexa built in. Their SoundLink as well, so if you want to run multi-room audio, I mean, it's a good small sounding soundbar. It's 800 bucks. If that's kind of what you're getting at, it's a soundbar for 800 bucks. I think it sounds really good. You could pick up some Atmos soundbars. You can pick up the LG SK9. I think even the SK10 might be on sale. Soundbar wise, if you want to piece together like an audio system, you can go with like a mid-range receiver. You can go with like an Onkyo receiver. I can't think of what the model number is right now, but I know over Black Friday, Onkyo had a receiver for like $200, which was a pretty good deal. Let me find out what model number that was. Like 676, I think it was. But I believe it's a 676. It's like $200. You can pick that up. You can pick up the DefTech. I think it's the 600 speaker package. That was like $450. You get a subwoofer, you get 5 channels, 5 speakers for a 5.1 channel setup with a kind of a budget receiver at 200 bucks. You're under $1,000. You're like at 800 bucks. That's a good deal. But I know I'm recommending the Onkyo. I'm an Onkyo fan. I've owned Onkyos for like ever. You can obviously go like Sony. Sony makes some budget stuff, but Sony doesn't make the best audio products, so it's at least they don't make the best receivers, but you can get their stuff for like 200 bucks, 300 bucks. Denon's got some entry-level stuff. What was it, like the S series, I think it is. You've got some good deals for like 330 bucks, 499, which you can pair up with the DefTech speaker setup I just mentioned. I'm not sure what the SVS little bookshelf speaker package is, but I know for like 400 bucks, I mean the DefTech one it's hard to beat. Plus they had the X700 player, 150. I think the LG UBK90 was also 150 bucks. So you can piece yourself up together for under $1,000. You can get yourself a nice 5.1 channel speaker setup. You can get yourself a nice receiver for 200 bucks. Get yourself a 4K Blu-ray player for 150 bucks. You're in it for like under $1,000 bucks, which I think is a solid deal. So thanks for your question, Ruben. We've got another question here from Luke Skywalker. Luke Skywalker is on Twitter. He says, spare change, looking to get a premium soundbar with Dolby Atmos for my apartment. I won't be blowing up the sound because of neighbors. What's the best product and price point you recommend? Well, the best soundbar, best premium soundbar. Again, I'm going to have to go with the LG, either SK9 or maybe SK10. I preferred those over the Sony ones. You can add rear speakers to them as well. I think it was like the SPK8. Those soundbars are like 800 bucks, and for the 9, I think like 1,000 for the 10. I mean, it might be on sale now for the holidays, so double check Best Buy for that. But I think those are solid options for soundbars. And again, if you want to go really simple, really small, you really can't beat the Bose. People hate Bose, I get it, but they do make a very nice small compact soundbar. It's $800. I've owned the SoundTouch 300. I thought it was great, especially for that small form factor. Very big sound for a very small subwoofer. So thanks for your question, Luke Skywalker. I don't think you're the Luke Skywalker, but you a Luke Skywalker. Also got an email question from, this question is from Christopher Stepanowski. Hey, thanks for your great content. I used to live in Westport and worked at the Palace Production Center in South Norwalk. Too embarrassed to ask this dumb question in public comments. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm making it public right now. But on recent discs like The Matrix sequels and Superman, the movie, I've read a lot of complaining you have to switch from the disc's apparently lossy default audio option of Dolby Digital 5.1 to the newly remixed Atmos mix. I have a Bose Lifestyle 600, regretting it, but whatever, works for my 600 square foot apartment. Do I switch to the Atmos track even if I only have 5 speakers without Atmos? Please let me know. P.S. I still love 3D. Maybe manufacturers will have a change of heart in the US when something like Avatar 2 releases in 3D with or without glasses. Well, I hope Avatar does come out in 3D. I'm sure it will. With or without glasses, that's yet to be known. But yeah, a lot of the Warner Brothers movies, the default track is typically the 5.1 lossy Dolby Digital track. And yes, you do have to switch over if you want to get the Atmos soundtrack. You got to switch over manually before you start the movie, or at the start of the movie, you got to switch over to the Atmos mix if there is one available. But seeing how you have Bose Lifestyle 600, which I believe that system, I don't know if it's Dolby or not. I think Bose kind of uses their own proprietary surround method. But you wouldn't have to switch over, even if you had just a regular 5.1 receiver, you wouldn't have to switch over if you didn't have Atmos, because embedded in the Atmos track, you'll get the 5.1 track or the 7.1 track. So technically, if you don't have Atmos, you wouldn't have to switch over, because you'll still get the base layer, which would be Dolby Digital or Dolby True HD, whatever your receiver is capable of. So no, you don't have to switch over. Thanks for the question, Christopher. We have another question here from a John Ferret. Hello, what do you think is the best soundbar for DTS and Dolby Atmos? I thank you in advance for your answers, John. Soundbars seem to be like the the main question I've been getting. Just like I told the other guys, LG soundbars are solid options. Samsung's got some pretty solid options as well. I think they're a little bit more pricier than LG's. I think they have an N950, which is something like $1,500. Solid option as well, but it does cost more. So if you want to kind of keep it budget, I would still say go with the LG, although you don't get DTS-X support. But if you're not worrying about DTS-X, LG makes a good bar. Samsung has some good stuff as well. Like I said, it's pricier. You can go with the Sony, the HTZ9F, which does support Dolby Atmos, and DTS-X. Although that one is only like a two-channel bar, or is it a three-channel? I forgot which one. Two or three. I think it's 2 speakers. That's doing some DSP to give you some Atmos sound. But if you want like direct reflecting speakers instead of like some DSP that the Sony's doing, I would still go with the LG if it's within the budget. If not, check out the Samsung. Oh wait, you know what? There's also I think Vizio's got some soundbars out too. I was thinking about picking up those in for review. At least they're big ones, so I may still get the Vizio Atmos bar. We'll see. We'll see how things pan out in the next couple of weeks here. Here's another question, a little off-topic question here. Hey Shane, this is from a comment on one of the YouTube videos, one of the reviews. This one's from Billy Morton. Hey Shane, this is an off-subject question. I hope that's cool. Have you replaced your lamp in the 675 ES yet, and do you have a recommendation on where to purchase? They have OEM and brand OEM. Well, on my projector, he wants to know if I swapped out the lamp in my projector. The lamp in the projector that I own is rated at 6,000 hours. Right now, I just hit 1,000 hours on my projector, Billy. So no, I'm not even close to 6,000 hours yet. And as far as like light loss, I haven't really noticed any light loss, even at 1,000 hours. At least nothing that I could tell. But I haven't switched it out yet. I'm probably not going to switch it out for a long time. If I switch to something else, I know JVC's got some stuff coming out, which I hopefully will get my hands on. That may be something I switch over to. But no, I haven't switched it out yet. As far as like OEM and brand OEM, as far as like brand OEM, I don't know if you mean brand OEM compatible, which is usually like a third-party bulb and not like an original equipment manufacturer bulb, you know, the kind that actually comes with the projector. I would always spend a little bit more money to go with the OEM, and I would, wherever you bought your projector from, I would go back to that dealer, whether it be like, you know, your local mom and pop shop or your Magnolia or something like that. Usually they'll sell replacement bulbs. I think for the 675, I think it was something like $400 or $500. I mean, it could be cheaper now. Last time I checked, it was like $400 or $500. But again, you're supposed to get 6,000 hours out of it. If you're running in low lamp mode, if you're running in high lamp mode, I think it's something like 2,000 hours. But I always run mine in low lamp mode. since I've got a light controlled room and it's not the biggest room, so I don't need massive amounts of light output, especially with my white screen. HDR looks fantastic in it. So as of right now, no, I haven't switched it out yet. But check out where you bought your projector from. Just get it from there. That'd be my best option. So that's gonna wrap it up. Just a couple of questions there that were kind of big. So I'll take a couple of questions here. Just coming up in like 30 minutes right now. A couple of questions here in the chat. Guys, got some questions? Yo, hit me up right now. Lift One, can you explain the differences in AV receivers? An AV receiver sound between Pioneer, Denon, and Marantz. Can I explain the difference? Well, the difference in sound between Pioneer, Denon, and Marantz. Well, I think it's kind of, at least in the AV circles, Marantz tends to have kind of a warmer sound, maybe like a more musical sound. Maybe more softer on the high end. You know, like treble would be a little bit softer, maybe not so piercing sounding. I've kind of come to realize that as well through, you know, my time owning Marantz products. That does have kind of more of a musical quality to it, just softer sound. Denon, if I was gonna do a receiver for movies, it'd probably be the Denon, more so than the Marantz, because well, the Denon Marantz receivers that I've had here in my place, I've always felt like there's a little bit more detail in the Denon products than the Marantz. Obviously, there's Odyssey on board, so you can always kind of tailor the sound if you want to boost up your higher frequencies. So you can always play around with that, but just like out of the box without tampering any EQ or anything like that. I always found the Denon products to be a little bit more detailed, especially in the high end. As far as like Pioneer, no, Pioneer I kind of bought out Onkyo recently within this last year or so. Pioneer used to make some awesome sounding products with their Elite line. You know, back in the day when they had like some real beefy amplifier sections and high quality build. Now everything seems to be like plasticky, and I'm not sure if they're using Class G amps or something like that now. I haven't tried any recent Pioneer amps. I just, you know, kind of fell out of touch with them after they started kind of cut corners, I'm gonna have to say. If you're really serious about it, man, for me personally, I prefer the Denon Marantz sound. I can only really speak about the Pioneer way back then, maybe like a few years ago, which solid sounding receivers, similar to Denon. As of right now, I'm not sure what their signature is anymore. But if anybody has an idea, just chime in if you guys are a Pioneer user. Jeff Smith says, quick questions. Think I should pull the trigger on the Outlaw 5000 amp at $600 free shipping? I think any, well Jeff, I think any kind of amplifier, I don't know if you're using a receiver, what you're using it with, but if you're using it with a receiver, I think any amplifier is going to sound better than the inbuilt receiver amps that are in your receiver. I would say that's a good buy. I would also check out, see what Emotiva's got on sale as well. But yeah, I mean, if you're going to add that to your receiver, yeah, check it out. Give it a shot. Also check out, like I said, Emotiva's got some good stuff. Who else has got some good stuff? I use Rotel amplifiers myself. They usually don't go on sale. Check that out. Check out the Monoprice amps as well. They got some good stuff. Their amps are like based on ATI amps, which will kind of mop the floor with the Outlaw amps. ATI amps are just like crazy good. Check that out. Monoprice amps are a good deal as well. And Runaway One did say he did buy a Monoprice 7 by 200 watt channel amp there for Black Friday. Like I said, I would check out the Monoprice amps because they're, I believe, based on the ATI, made by ATI at least, which I would take over the Outlaw any day. So we check that out. Jeff Smith, check out the Monoprice stuff. The Raft Cave, so glad Mission Impossible kept the IMAX scenes on the home release. Yeah, man, it's on the It's on the digital download, on the digital stream. You can get the IMAX scenes are actually on the iTunes stream. I haven't watched it on Vudu. I'm sure they would be on. I don't know why it'd be on, you know, iTunes and not Vudu, but it's on iTunes for sure. It's on the Blu-ray, and you do get IMAX scenes on the 4K as well. There it is, man, full screen. It's gonna switch. You're gonna get the switching aspect ratios. Fortunately for me, I do have kind of a scope screen, so if I'm really gonna sit down and get into it, those IMAX scenes kind of, I don't really see the IMAX scenes most of the time. They just kind of get cropped. They kind of disappear from me. Earl Poole Jr. wants to know, which LED TV do you prefer, Samsung or LG? I'll tell you, I would, over LED TVs, I would take the Samsung over LG any day. I feel this year and even last year, LG's LED TVs are just afterthoughts when it comes to TV, to their TV line. Like, I could see the pixels in this year's LG TVs, at least for their LED sets. I could see the pixels. I mean, for a 4K set, I shouldn't be able to see pixels, but I can clearly see them. So I feel like maybe like all their R&D is in their OLED sets, and like LEDs are just there to fill in that kind of the lower end gap, you know, so to speak. But if I was going to buy an LED TV, LG would be like probably the last on my list. I would take TCL and Vizio over any LG LED sets this year. They just don't look good. At least to me, they just don't look good. I would probably even go Sharp over the LGs. Samsung for sure over the LG LED TVs. This guy says, they speak with a British accent because Hong Kong were in a British territory for a long time, or they are rich and educated in England. So this question was in reference to, why are these Asian people speaking with British accents? And yes, in the movie they did go to college in England. They did mention that in the movie. But I did bring it up because, you know, I'm Asian. I'm trying to watch. I grew up in an Asian family. I didn't grow up in a rich Asian family. I grew up in an Asian family with some broken English. So I was hoping to see maybe some broken English going on in this movie. Not some rich British people who just happen to be Asian. So I was hoping to get a little bit more Asianness in the movie. That's the only reason why I brought it up. But thanks for checking out the video. If you guys have any future questions for any future reviews, leave a comment or leave an email right down there in the email address, spiritchangereviews@gmail.com. Hit us up on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and we'll bring it up on the next live stream. Thanks for checking out the video, and we'll see you guys again in the next one.